everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper. I am located in Oregon in the United States. Tonight we're going to be playing with the Bright Skies bundle. We have the stamp set and coordinating dies. It appears I'm a couple minutes late when I reset my clock. Apparently the one on my desk is a little bit slow. I've got to fix that. So I was looking at it, and right now it says it's only 6:59, but my phone said it's after 7. So sorry about that. Let's get on here and see who we have. See if anybody has found us. Come on, pop up there. There we go. Hello, Laura. Oops, sorry I'm late. All right. We are going to have some fun tonight. I am feeling so much better. I spent the last 2 days with a migraine, and today I'm doing much better. Thank you. Hello, Cher. Hello, hello. Well, we've had a lot of rain in the last few days, and we have some bright skies on the way, so it just seemed appropriate that we should pull out the Bright Skies bundle. I've got 2 cards for you today, and they're not very complicated, but I think they turned out pretty cute. So we are going to go ahead and let's just jump right in because I'm late, and let the others find us, okay? So let's see. Let's set these aside. I've done, for the first card, we're going to use the Bright Skies bundle. And in addition to the Bright Skies bundle, I'm going to pull in the Playing in the Rain bundle from the annual catalog. I love this bundle, and it hasn't gotten enough use. It's so cute. This would make some really cute Easter cards. And you have all these fun extra pieces. This die set has 15 dies. It cuts out all of these images, and then it cuts out all these extras. So we're going to have some fun with that. So let's set that aside. I've done pretty much most of the die cutting for this card. So I didn't know how I would feel today. So I tried to get a handle on everything and get a jump. Okay, so from basic white cardstock, I've cut these dies. Oh, I didn't pull out the other one. These cutouts are from the Bright Skies bundle of products. So you've got this die here, and then this die that I just showed you. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use this large die right here on our card. We're going to have a little fun. So let's set those dies aside so I don't lose them. So I've cut one of those large dies that I just showed you out of white. From the Playing in the Rain dies, I've cut out in Early Espresso the little bridge. So you're going to need some Early Espresso cardstock. Our card base is Azure Afternoon, and this is a standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score it in the middle at 4 1/4. We'll go ahead and do that now, and then we'll just set it aside because we need to do a lot before we can actually add our layer to that card base. Okay, so here is the basic white we used to cut those out. Set that aside. So we're going to do a little bit of stamping on that. And then I don't have a lot of room for probably what I need to do. That's okay. You're not going to have to watch me color because I've already done all of the coloring and the die cutting. But for stamping this, even though I'm using Stampin' blends, I'm using the basic gray. And that is not going to fit. Hold on. Let's grab a extra piece here of basic white that we have cut. So we are going to, we need to stamp a fox. And we need our bunny. And we need the umbrella. These are all from Playing in the Rain. Let's set those, you know what? When I have my migraines, I tend to be dropsy. So we're going to go ahead and clean those off. So that if I'm dropsy, we don't have a mess. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to stamp for this is the sentiment. And I just put my finger in that basic gray ink pad. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Lynette. Hello, Cynthia. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody come out? Nope, I'm good. All right, so we've got that, and then we need the Azure Afternoon. And we are going to ink up that sentiment. Rainy days are better with, no, that's not the right one. That's the inside sentiment. You brighten my cloudy days. This is the sentiment that we need. There we go, but while we're at it, we might as well grab the inside card base and stamp that sentiment. Means we've already got it inked up and we're pretty much ready to go. Let's just stamp Rainy Days Are Better With You right there. And then let's move this out of the way, bring in a piece of scrap paper. And we're going to grab the pool party now. And we're going to take the little raindrops from the Bright Skies bundle. This sentiment actually comes from the Playing in the Rain bundle. We're going to use this, and we're going to just stamp us some little rain clouds here. There we go. And that will be the inside of our card. And again, I used a pool party for that. Okay, so let's set that aside with our card base. And let's get on to our focal piece. This is going to be a scenery card. Actually, both of our cards tonight are scenery cards. So I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper here. And I'm going to need some Granny Apple Green ink along with the Azure Afternoon. And we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. So let's start with the Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to grab myself a block because I don't want this to be too dark, and I find that if I use the block, it tends not to be as dark as if I use the actual ink pad. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ink on there. I'll rub that off. Get some of that off. I don't want that much. There we go. And then I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to go about that far up. Okay, quick and easy. Then we're going to take the Azure Afternoon, and I want a different blue brush here because I don't want to put Azure on there and then have to use the Balmy Blue later. So we're going to do it this way. Okay, I'm just going to use the other end of that ink block. Take the Azure Afternoon. This also saves your ink pads from drying out so quickly when you ink blend as well. Okay, so then we're just going to put some Azure Afternoon. I want those light and dark spots for my sky. Okay, now let's set this aside so I don't put my hands in it. And I'll just take a baby wipe and clean that off. All right, so here is our background piece. Now we have a little bit more ink blending still to do. So let's grab our Coastal, or not our Coastal Cabana, but our Pool Party ink again. If I can figure out where I put that. I've lost it already. That's crazy. There it is. Okay. I'm going to grab a different block. And we're going to take that ink. And then we're going to ink this up. And again, I don't want this really dark. This is supposed to look like an puddle. But not a dirty puddle because, you know, I don't like dirty puddles. Puddles. Okay, I'm just going to grab a baby wipe here. I'm going to run out of blocks if I don't. You could clean these on your Stampin' Chamois too, but I'm not doing that. That puts too much ink on my Stampin' Chamois when I'm going to need it. Okay, so we've got those. And then the final piece to our ink blending. So we're going to ink blend these. We're going to do our clouds in basic gray. Now, I tried gray granite, I tried smoky slate, and I tried the basic gray. And basic gray was the color that I liked the best. I thought the other ones were just too brown. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put some gray clouds in the sky. And these ones I want to be a little bit darker. Okay, so we're just going to ink blend these up. Okay. So get a little bit of ink on there. And then I want to give these a little bit of character. So I'm going to take and get just a little bit more ink. And I'm going to just tap my block for some ink. And then I'm going to tap on my clouds. Just to give it a little texture. Okay? So they don't look quite so perfect. Because as we all know, storm clouds are not perfect. No two look alike. And that's not what we're going for. Okay, so now we've got our ink blending finished. And we are actually ready to start putting this together. Now, I pre-colored my my little bunny, and I used Flirty Flamingo on his ears, Little flirty flamingo on his cheeks and his nose. Lemon lolly on his coat, dark and light. And then I put just a tiny bit of pool party at the bottoms of his feet so that when he stands in the puddle, those will blend in. And Miss Foxy here, she is colored in dark and light Cajun Craze, dark and light flirty flamingo, and this is the lemon lolly dark and light. Okay, so those pieces are already colored and die cut. Let's go ahead and put this together. So we're going to take our large die from the sunny, or from the bright skies dies, and we're going to put this down here like this. And actually, let me grab a silicone mat. And I'm going to position this so that my bridge will go across this section. So it looks like they're crossing over this little lake or what have you. Okay, so we're just going to take and we're going to look at that. Okay, about right there. And I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal. And I'm just going to put that down here. And then put this back, maybe up a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to put just a little bit more adhesive here, because I want this to sit up about like that. And before I press that down, I want to make sure that I can put my bridge on there and it looks even. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's add our clouds. So we're going to take and put some clouds up here. And let's see, I'm going to put this one. I'm going to turn these clouds so they don't all look the same. Okay. All right, I kind of like that arrangement, so I'm going to go ahead and put those down. I need a little bit more here. And we'll put that down about like that. Let's go ahead and put this one on. Like so. And hello, Jennifer. Lynette, did I say hello? If I didn't, hello. Okay, so then we're gonna do this like this. All right. Now we're just gonna take our scissors, our paper snips here, turn this over, and snip this even with the bottom edge of our card. Snip that one off. And that one. And that one. And get rid of those pieces. Now we can move that out of the way. And then we're going to add our bridge. Let's try to fit Miss Bunny in here. Oh, yep, that's about where we're going to want that. Okay, so for the bridge, I need to leave this open so I can get my Foxy in here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow liquid glue with my fine tip glue bottle. I'm just going to put a little bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Didn't want it to come out crazy, so I'm trying not to squeeze too hard. I just want to do the bottom of the bridge and these two sides. Okay. then we're going to put this down here, like so. Then we're going to take, actually at this point, let's go ahead and add this to our card base because we can. And it'll be easier before we start popping up things. Okay. So we'll put this on here. And then we're going to take our bunny and grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm down to the edges here, so we're just going to use those edges up. A little bit down here on the bunny's foot. Kind of nice when you get to these edges and you need small pieces. Then you can just stick, well, I don't think that's going to, nope, I'm good. It's not going to show, we're good. And I don't want that one there because that might get stuck on Miss Foxy, and we don't want that. So we can do the other ear, but not that one. Let's pop this up. We have plenty to support that. I always get carried away on dimensionals. Alright, so all the backings are off. Let's put Miss Bunny down here. Like so, because she decided she didn't want to cross the bridge. She's just going to go right on through. And then we're going to take Miss Foxy here, and we're going to slip her down behind that bridge. And because I'm slipping her behind the bridge, on the bottom, I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal. But on the top, where the umbrella is, I want to give that some dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that part up with a dimensional. So let's just slide that down here like so. And we're going to put that in. Hopefully I put Miss Bunny where I needed her. Okay, now let's grab that sentiment that we stamped. Oh, we need the umbrella, which I colored in Lemon Lolly. Oh, perfect. And again, we're going to, for this one, I need it to be pretty thin. So I'm going to just go up the edge here and cut a piece of that off, about the length of my umbrella. And then I'm going to add that to the umbrella here, like so. Pull off that skinny little backing. And then I'm going to put that umbrella right out there like that. Oh, hang on. Come on. Peel. Okay, we need a little bit, I need just a dot of glue right here. Just to hold that umbrella down on the bunny's hand, so that it doesn't look like it's hanging out there in air. My problem here is where I put my there we go. Hang on. Mr. Bunny's foot here is kind of in the way. I'm going to remove some of that dimensional. That will help that stick a little bit. I'll move that a little bit up further away from that foot. Make sure it doesn't go off the card. But there we go. Much better. Okay, now let's bring that sentiment in. And I'm just gonna rough cut this out and set that aside. And then I am going to cut across here. And hand cut this out. If you're not comfortable with this, go ahead and do that pencil trick where I show you draw it in with a pencil first. And then cut once you have the pencil around it. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to fix this up because I don't like how that looks right there. Just going to round it out there. There we go. And I'm happy with that. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and add this to our card. Right here. And then the card front will be finished. Oh, you know what we should put on here? We should put some of those little daisies. Let me see if I can find those real quick. Here they are, right here. These are in the annual catalog, the loose daisy embellishments. And let's put a few of these on our ground. Well, let's grab our take your pick tool. Pick up a couple of these little doodads. Scatter them around. I don't think I like the white. They are just not bright enough for my taste today. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll just pick those up, put a little dot of glue here. And I'm going to set that back down. And we'll pick it up. Give us a dot of glue. Just want a tiny little dot. Press those down. Okay, there's the front of our card now. Close these up before I spill them. And then let's grab the inside of our card. And finish this up. Okay. And there you have it. There's card number 1. And for the envelope, I took some of the Celebration Sunny Days Designer Series paper and put that on the back. If you don't have any, then you can leave that blank, stamp what you want. And then I stamped the rain cloud from Sunny Days and the rain. Or bright skies. Not sunny days, bright skies. So there's our first project. I hope you like that. Aw, thanks for the hearts. Appreciate that. Okay, let me go ahead and clean up just a bit here. I've got pieces laying where they're going to be in my way here. Let's take care of that. All right. Set these aside. And if you didn't catch the colors that I used on the animals, that'll be on my blog on Thursday. All the colors that I used to color. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. So for this card, I've got quite the color palette. We've got Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, Smoky Slate, Lemon Lolly, Crushed Curry, and Balmy Blue. Okay. We're using the Bright Skies bundle, and in addition to that, we're going to use this little die from the Countryside Corners for our sentiment. And we're also using the Raindrops embossing folder. This is not a 3D embossing folder, so this requires plate 1 and 2 of the plate 2 acrylic plates. Okay, so you just sandwich this between them. All right. So our card base for this card is Balmy Blue. And I've already embossed the full front of this card with the Raindrop embossing folder. If you aren't comfortable putting it through your embossing folder sideways, then go ahead and take a 4 by 5 1/4 inch. Actually, I would recommend a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece of Balmy Blue and emboss that and then add it to the front. Okay, so there's our card base. Let's go ahead and set that aside because, again, we need to do a lot to the rest of our piece before we can move on. All right, let's go ahead and get our stamping done. And I went ahead and die cut from the Bright Skies bundle, and I'm going to hope this works. Let me get out my silicone mat so I have a good... Sounds like it's pouring outside again. So I have a good background base here. And we're going to do some of the little flowers. These are cut from the Bright Skies dies. And we need a bunch. That's why I die cut ahead of time. So you don't need to see me run all these through. We need 6 of the stems. And then we need 3 of the large flower. And we need 2 tulips. Whoops, this one's already done. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go ahead and start with the Granny Apple Green, which I pulled from this color palette before. I need to put it back. So let me refresh you on that color palette. Means I just added the Granny Apple Green. Excuse me. Granny Apple Green, Berry Burst, Bubble Bath, Smoky Slate, Lemon Lolly, Crushed Curry, Balmy Blue. Okay, we're going to start with the Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to grab the coordinating stamps that match from the Bright Skies stamp set, and I'm going to attempt to stamp all these stems. It's a little bit easier on the silicone mat because you get a pretty good background, which makes it easy to see the outline of the white. So we will stamp all of these. And then they'll be ready to go. Now, I would recommend that if you're not comfortable doing this, that you stamp and then die cut, but to save time, we're going to do it this way today. I did do a few extras just in case I needed them. Okay, so we're done with the stems. Let's move on to the flowers. I'm going to grab my chamois because I need to clean in between, and we're going to start with the lightest color, which is Bubble Bath. And we're going to take that largest flower, and I'm going to stamp one in Bubble Bath. Let me stand up so I can see this better. Okay, so there's my Bubble Bath. Now I'm actually going to cheat. I'm going to go right to Berry Burst because I don't need to clean in between. I'm just going to stamp off because Bubble Bath is a lighter color. So we've got that. Now I do need to clean. So I'm just going to clean on my chamois here. I want to make sure I get that good because the red tones tend to stay in. They need a little bit extra. And then I'm going to take my crushed curry and dry off that stamp by patting it on my hand. And I'm going to stamp this last flower in the crushed curry. Okay, and then we're going to stamp our tulips. So I'm going to start with Lemon Lolly on my tulip. Okay. I'm going to give that a quick clean. And move to Berry Burst again. All right. And there we are. So there's all our flowers. Let's set these aside. Let me give them a quick wipe. So again, don't get those. Oh, you know, before I cleaned that, I should have taken, let's do that now. We already did it, but we're gonna do it anyway. We've got a little bit more stamping. Might as well get it all done. Okay. So we're gonna stamp those flowers on the inside of our card. And this inside layer is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So we're going to pull out the Granny Apple Green again. And we're going to stamp. Wow. See if I can line this back up. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm going to stamp 3 stems. I'm going to take Berry Burst, and I'm going to stamp 1 large flower right there. And then we're going to take our tulip, and I don't want to color, I don't want to clean, so we're just going to use 2 crushed curry. Okay. So there's the inside of our card. Let's set that aside. Now we've got our sentiment. So I'm going to bring that in. And our sentiment says brighter skies are on their way. All of these stamps are from the Brighter Skies stamp set. And we're going to do that in the very burst. Okay. So we've got that. Yeah. Quick clean. All right. And now we've got all of our pieces stamped. So let's go ahead. Well, no, we don't. But we can't stamp the other piece yet because we need to do some ink blending. That's the word I'm looking for. Ink blending. Let's set our pieces aside and let's take our outside layer. This is 3 3¾ by 5 inches. And we're going to bring back in our oh, I was going to say, did I lose a cloud? But I didn't. So we're going to bring back in the ink blending. And this time, I'm just going to use a balmy blue. So let's get that. Let's get this ink blend. There we go. That'll be good. Okay, let's use this and grab us a block. And then make sure we don't have any harsh lines here. And then I want this to be a little bit, I don't want it to be perfect because I want it to look like a sky. Okay, and that's all we're going to do. That's good enough. And I think, well, you know what? I might need to go just a tiny bit lower. It's not going to hurt. Okay, there we go. Now we're good, for sure. All right. Now we're going to bring in the, well, before we do that, let's stamp and die cut this at the same time. Okay, let's do that. We are going to take a piece of basic white here, and I'm going to take the crushed curry ink. I'm going to stamp this sun, just like this. Okay, we still got the ink out, so let's go ahead and bring in our, oh, I can't do that yet. Well, yes I can. I'm just going to do it. We're going to fake it. That's what we're going to do. Fake it till you make it. I think I was a little more precise last time, but it's okay. So I'm taking the balmy blue again. I'm going to stamp off on a scrap piece of cardstock here. I'm going to take one of the cloud die cuts that I've cut from the Bright Skies dies. I'm going to put that up here, and I'm going to put this right here. Cool. Okay, just like that. Now we can do a little bit more ink blending. I'm going to take these clouds, and we're going to take this cloud in particular. And we are going to take some of the smoky slate. And I need a clean block here. All right. And I want this one to be pretty dark. Because this is where our rain is coming out of. So we want that. And then I'm going to go back in with that trick again. And I'm just going to tap it down and give it some texture. Okay. So that's my one rain cloud. And then I'm going to take most of this off before going to my next cloud. And without re-inking anything, I'm going to add some there. And a little bit of texture. I don't want a lot because I don't want these to look really dark. Okay. So there we go, just a little bit of texture. And now we're ready to die cut, and then we'll put the card together. Did we do the inside of this card? We did. Okay, good. I did it. We're good. All right, let's bring in our mini cut and emboss machine. We've got a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock here. And we're going to pull from the Bright Skies dies. We're going to pull these two pieces. And then also we're going to pull the Sunshine, because we need to die cut that. It's a little bit tricky, so we're going to put this on. And I found that if I look for two large spots opposite each other, that should line up pretty well right there. I hope. Okay, so let me grab some tape. Okay, I've got that. And we'll tape that down. That doesn't seem to be quite right there. There we go, I think. Just like that. Tape that down. And let's grab the mini cut and emboss machine. Let's pop that open. Grab our plates. We've got plate 1, plate 2, and a brand new top plate. Okay, so for these pieces, these only have cutting edges on the top. The bottom part does not have a cutting edge, so you can place these however you want them for height. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here, and I want this one to be larger than this one. So I'm going to put those in about like that. Put my top plate on and roll that through. Okay. And then we're going to put in our Sunshine. And I already die cut in Lemon Lolly the center piece, which is this little die right here for the Sunshine. So we've got that piece right here. Let's go ahead and move our machine out of the way because we're done with that. And those out of the way. Okay, so now we've got these two pieces, and this is what we have left. Got that, and we're done with that. Here's our Sunshine. I did not die cut that, so terrific, but it's okay. We're gonna make it work anyway. So I'm just gonna put the center in that Sunshine, the Lemon Lolly. And put that right in the center. And then we're going to bring in our ink blended piece. Our silicone mat. We're going to place this down here, place this here, and that's going to tell us where we want to place this. We're going to go kind of like that, Okay. So I should be able to put some tape about right there. I don't want to tape at the top of this because I want to be able to put my flowers down in there. So let's see how that's going to fit. Need to move that down just a touch. Okay. Just like that, that'll work. And then this time I'm going to use liquid glue because I want to make sure that I don't go onto the granny apple green. But I'm putting my glue here so that I can cut off and I won't have glue left on my scissors by doing it this way. Okay, so let's give that a good press there. And we'll take our paper snips, trim that off. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put our grayish cloud up where it's raining. Like so. And then we're going to put our sunshine over here on the left. And because we didn't die cut that so perfectly, we're going to put that kind of like that. Put this in here. Put this cloud up here just a bit. And we'll turn this the different direction, like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this one down. Kind of like that. And we can put this one down. Like so here. And then we'll put this over here and we'll pop that up a bit. Might die cut, stamp and die cut another one of those, you know, because I didn't do it so perfect. And that's going to bother me. But you don't have to watch that. This will be here for now. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And then we're going to bring in all of these little pieces. And we're going to start putting our stems in, and then you'll see why we did not glue the top of the grassy pieces here, our little hills. We needed to place these right down in these, like so. Okay, I'm going to move this one over here a bit. Okay, I kind of like that placement there. So let's go ahead and put our stems down, like that. Going to use liquid glue here. Okay, almost done with these. Let's put that about right there. And then we'll add this. Okay. Then we're going to, this is going to go here. This one's going to go here. This one here. And then we'll put our tool up here and here. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue our tulips down. And for that, I'm going to use some glue dots, just because it's easier. Well, it is if I can pick it up. Okay, so we've got those. Let's go ahead and press that down. And press this down. Okay, now I'm going to bring in a little mat here. And we're going to take our bone folder, and on these little flowers, I'm just going to take the very edge of my bone folder. And actually, you can do this with your fingernail if you've got fingernails. Just go like that. Okay. I'm going to do that with all of these. Just give them a little bit of a curve backward. Just gives it a little bit of dimension. And then we're going to take the tip of our, take your pick tool on this little mat, and we're going to put the tip right there of the putty in the center of our flower and pop that up for a little bit of dimension. Okay, and again, we're going to put the centers of those flowers on a glue dot. Now you can of course use liquid glue if you prefer. Okay, so I've got those. I'm going to press those in. And I'm going to bring these back down. Add them to the center here of our stem. Actually, I'm going to press those with the tip of that again, because that's how I'm going to get in there the best. Get in that cup that I made. Okay. So now all we have left for this is the sentiment. Okay. Oh, and we forgot to cut that while we had the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out. But it's okay. I've pre-cut one, so we don't have to pull that back out again. And like I said, I cut that using the smallest, well, the smallest open die on the corner, on the countryside corners. It barely fits. You have to get that right in there like so. Then you want to tape it down good so it doesn't move. Run that through your machine, and then you have your sentiment ready to go. Okay, and this is stamped in Berry Burst. And then we're just going to take this, and we're going to lay this right down here. We're going to put that on with some Stampin' Seal. Let's press that in. And this is now ready for our card base. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. will add this to the card base. Which I forgot I embossed. Usually I use liquid glue when I emboss like that. And you know what? We're going to do that because that's not going to work out very well for us. We need to get some good glue on here for that. All those nooks and crannies. Well, let's go ahead and do that. I forgot to emboss that base. Okay, and then I'm going to turn that inside out there. And run my bone folder down there. Okay. There we are. Now, let's go ahead and add a little bit of Wink of Stella to our flowers. Okay. Now I'm going to try and go from the lightest to the darkest because I don't want to drag the darker color onto the lighter color. Okay, now let's grab some gems and put them on the centers of those little daisies. And before we do that though, let's add the inside of our card. So we've got that ready to go. Let's go ahead and put that in. And let's grab some gems. What do we think will be the right thing for those? Let's go, you know what? We could go with some, maybe some glossy dots here. That will really sparkle quite nicely if we do that, I think. Let's check that out. These, yellow one right in there. The thing I like about these is they're nice and flat. Okay, then let's put that in the center there. And one in the center there. And there we are. Okay. So there's that. And then for the envelope, I stamped the largest cloud stamp from the Bright Skies stamp set right here. And I did that on the outside of the envelope. And again, I grabbed a piece of the Bright Skies Designer Series paper from Celebration that I had left over and put on the flap. And there you have our cards for tonight. I hope you like those. Let me bring back in the first card. And this is what we have for you tonight. All right, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. And that if you have this stamp set, either one of these actually, that it inspires you to pull them out and make something for the spring. And if not, you can, if you're interested in purchasing them, be sure to see my website at teresaharper.stampinapp.net. See you all next Tuesday at the same time, 7 p.m. with some more projects. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.